Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel for another video. My name is Diana and I create cross stitch patterns under the name Diana Bloom Designs. And on this channel I like to talk about everything cross stitch, so the patterns that I get to make as well as any of the personal stitching that I get up to. And right now we're going to err pretty heavily on the pattern side of things, especially because this month I have been wholly focusing on my own personal Christmas in July. But you will get to see more of that come winter time. So I'm very excited to get to share that with you. But for today, I have 3 patterns that are being released, and I'm very excited to share them all. The first is a Needlebook that you have seen some of the behind the scenes for over the past little while, and is one that is, it's been a long time coming, it feels like. The second is the Patreon pattern that's getting released today. And then the third is actually a free pattern that I hope you will really like. So just to jump right in, I'm going to start off with the Needlebook. And this features 2 eastern bluebirds, a male and a female, looking at each other. And they are standing on clematis vines. I think that's how you say that flower. But it is my favorite flower that I have in my garden, and I really look forward to it blooming every year. I have a purple one. It's very pretty. So I wanted to feature that in this design. So I'll share the Needlebook with you. That's what it looks like. And so there's the male bluebird on the top there, and then the female on the bottom. You can see the purple flowers. And I did golden leaves this time. And then when you open across the back, that's the whole design. And I wanted this to be something that if somebody chose not to use it as a Needlebook, they wanted to use the design for something else, that it would work as a whole pattern. And then if it was a Needlebook, that the design worked in the 2 halves. So there's the front and there's the back. There we go. And this linen is called London Fog, and it's by Roxy Floss Co. And you can see it has a lot of really beautiful kind of purple and green modeling, and I think it does a lot to add to the design, and it is beautiful to get to work with. I'll show you. I have it also lining the inside of the Needlebook, and it adds a lot of interest. It makes the plain cover of the Needlebook more beautiful to look at. So I love that. And I did mine on 40 count. So this is kind of the small version, if you will. So if you were to stitch this on something like 28 count, you would get a much bigger Needlebook. In terms of stitch count, it is 147 by 111. But then if you are using the same linen to line the Needlebook, you'll need that again, just for your lining piece. Although you could use a scrap of fabric, you could use 2 coordinating linens if they're the same stitch count, especially if they're by the same dyer, because I think I've heard that the dye process can slightly change the sizing of your fabric. So just to make sure everything lines up, you might want to keep it at least the same dyer and stitch count. And then I'll show you the inside of the Needlebook. I put a little ribbon that can hold a pair of scissors because I am always losing mine. I think this will be much, much easier. And then I've got just a piece of felt that I sewed down the middle of the book where I can put needles. And I know this is something where people can add pockets and get really custom and creative for whatever it is that you're needing to keep on hand, right? If you need a tiny little zip pouch, a tiny little folded pocket, you can get really creative with these. But for me, this is exactly what I wanted. And then I've got little clear snaps in the corners right here. Gotta move that mandolin. Something about it, my camera just loves it. It's not a face. So the little clear snaps are nice and they're holding up really well. I've used this a little bit and I wanted to know if those snaps would end up kind of pulling on the fabric, but so far not. And so that's that. I wanted to show you, I did bring the rest of what I have of the linen so that you can have a better peek of what that looks like, because I know it's hard to see kind of on the Needlebook a little bit, and I have a big old piece, so why not? My cut here is beautifully modeled You can really see the richness of the colors. It's just gorgeous. It's one that you're like, how do I not design everything on this now? Especially for me, I like the way that modeling can sort of, I feel like it implies like a soft background of leaves, which is something that works really well for the things that I like to design. Especially, you know, this has green modeling. That's very handy for leaves in my opinion. So I just love it. I think it's so beautiful. And yeah, I've got a few patterns sketched out that I think would look really nice with that. And I also wanted to show you, this is the color palette. Not a terribly huge floss ring, and some really pretty jewel tone colors together. I really like this purple color with some of these like ochres and the warmer tones, and then this bright blue. It's mostly featured in the bird. And there's some little details too, like just with the way it's sewn together. I really don't like counting backstitch when you sew all around. I'm not very good at it. I get very confused. So I did just like a little dotted line border. And I did that in kind of a gold color called butterscotch. Please focus. Not the mandolin. Oh my word, it just won't do it. What do you want to see here? There you go. And then, so the dotted line border was kind of in that golden color. And then I used the more caramelly color called Annie to actually do the back stitching and the seaming. So you get a little bit of contrasting color there, just right on the edge, which I thought was really cute. I really love when you bother and you like do the back stitch sewing. I think the edge looks so cute with the little pop of color. You know, it makes me think of books when they have color on the pages. So I think it's really pretty. Sewing the border made me think of, for knitters, really fussy cast offs, you know? You're trying to bind off and you do like a sewn bind off or some kind of tubular bind off, and you're like, I promise this will be worth it in the end. And it was. It looked really nice. So I'm very happy with that. Yeah, so that's Bluebirds in the Branches, and I hope you enjoy that little needlebook. The next pattern I want to share is the Patreon pattern for this month, and I'll have to put up the digital picture here. And it is called Feathered Fleeting Glance, and it features 2 black-backed dwarf kingfishers, which is our bird of the month for this month. These are the cutest little birds. I was so excited when they were pulled. They're one that's come up as a suggestion before, so I've already looked up what they look like. And they seem to be just really tiny kingfisher birds. So they've got like that pronounced long beak, but these ones are all in jewel tones, like so many colors. So I was very excited to get to color, pull colors for all of this. I'll show you the floss ring. It's so fun. And I just have them standing on a rubber tree. I have a rubber tree in my kitchen. I think they're really pretty. Can't remember the scientific name for that one right now, but they have these big, thick, glossy leaves. They're really rich and beautiful. It's, I think, a very common house plant, but obviously something that you would see more in a tropical setting too, obviously. Now I'm second guessing that, so let's take out the word obvious. But I really love the colors of this one. This one was so fun. I ended up actually ordering a bunch of bright colors because, you know, very often I do reach for the more neutral versions of things. And for this one, I needed rich, pure color. So there's the floss ring. And you can see there's a lot of gradation where you'll have sort of very subtle shading from light to dark, especially in the greens, and over here in the yellows down to the oranges. I just think that's so pretty. I love the way that the colors pop and also work really well together. I think that's beautiful. Yeah, I can't get over all the colors that I'm showing today are Roxy Floss. They make me so happy. It's so good. Mandolin, you're getting moved. At least maybe just for videos. But yes, so I'm very excited for that one. And this one, it's not an overly huge pattern because I thought, you know, they're little birds. So I wanted to kind of celebrate that. It's 113 by 113 for the stitch count. And then the total stitches is 3,919. So I feel like overall, that's a pretty quick little stitch. It should be kind of like the 5, 6, 7 inches squared, depending on your fabric count. Yeah, and I've designed it to work well with speculoos linen from Roxy Floss Co. So this one has kind of a golden tone to it, very subtly. It's like an off-white, right? It's pretty light, but it has like a creamy goldenness to it that I think is gorgeous. And it works well with the floss ring. There's that together. So that's the Patreon pattern for this month. And then the last pattern that I want to talk about is a free pattern that I designed as a thank you. So August marks the 1-year anniversary of my being a cross-stitch designer. I launched my first patterns in August of last year. It was closer towards the end of the month, but I didn't want to wait. So I am launching this thank you pattern now. I wanted to come up with something that was fun, that I thought would be pretty to stitch, something a little bit different, something that, I really didn't kind of want to worry too much about it, and just make something that I really enjoyed and liked, and something that I hoped you would like too. So I designed a giant silk moth standing on giant breadseed poppies. I'll show you the pattern here. I love moths. I love poppies. They're one of the things that if I'm going to sit down and draw for fun, it's probably going to have poppies in it, almost certainly. And then moths, butterflies, birds, things like that always come up for me. So this is called Summer Silk Moth. And I'm really excited about this one. I got to use a little bit of a darker linen, different colors than I normally go for. I didn't worry about it's pretty heavily stitched. I didn't worry about that. I think it's really pretty, and I think it would be fun to work on. The stitch itself is not overly large. It's 184 by 145. I guess that would be 145 by 184. And in total, it has 10,367 stitches. That's harder to say than I expected. And I hope that you like it. It's something I made for all of you as a thank you for letting me get to have my dream job. I love getting to illustrate. I have loved the needle art since I was 4 years old. So to get to put those things together and get to do drawing and needle arts, stitching for my job is incredible. And I thank you so much for your support. It's been an absolute dream come true, and I can't wait to still be doing this well into my 90s. I am never, ever stopping. So I'll show you the flosses and linen. My husband and I laugh ourselves hoarse at the idea of my ever retiring. So it's never happening. All right. So the linen for this one, I used French Hen by Roxy Floss Co. And this is such a gorgeous linen. It has almost a warmth to it, but I think it must be a yellow tone, because overall I think the gray is kind of a cool gray. It's just the coolest linen. I love it. I love colors like this that I can't quite identify. It's so beautiful, and I'm very excited to actually get to stitch on this linen. It's one of those ones that reads as a dark, but isn't actually overly dark. So I think it would be nice to stitch on. And then I'll show you it with the colors. So because the linen itself is a little bit darker, I went lighter and brighter for the colors so that they would really pop. Okay, Mandolin, what are we going to do about you? Do I get in front of you or something? I just love this. I love the pinks. I love this bright flamingo pink with the gold here. And those are, how can I get that to come back? There we go. Those feature as details inside of the moth. The foliage colors are really light and soft. I'm just so excited for this one. I spent so much time getting to draw it out. This one to me was just kind of a passion project. So I took it as a luxury. I fully illustrated it, and then I got to chart it, and I really took my time on it. I let myself have several takes, didn't have to worry about starting over. This is one that I just used as a bit of a luxury project. So it's one that feels very personal to me. It's one that, you know, I just kind of followed what I loved and let it come together. So I hope that you really, really like it. Again, it's not an overly huge floss ring. What do we have? 3, 6, 12 colors. So it's, you know, it's got enough, but not over the top. And yeah, these pinks, just loving that. So I hope you like it. I will, the way that I can do free patterns is I have them attached to my Patreon, but there's no need to even have it. Like, you don't have to have any kind of a Patreon account. You don't have to log in. You just click the link and then you can download the attachment and it will be yours to have. And you can just save it to whatever device you open it on and it's yours. So I hope you really enjoy it. I hope that some of you will enjoy stitching it. And yeah, thank you again. This is the best job I could have ever dreamed up for myself, and I couldn't do it without you. So those are my 3 patterns for today. Like I said, I don't have a lot of other stitching that I can show you right now, but I do have one gift that I really wanted to share with you. I think it was really sweet, and I am just really feeling it right now. My sister-in-law recently went on a trip to Poland to see family, and while she was there, she was messaging me asking about the embroidery floss that I use. So I explained it was stranded. I wasn't sure what she was scheming up, but I knew she was probably scheming something if she's asking. And she found embroidery floss that is apparently made in Poland. So it's not imported or anything, it's actually made there. And she got me so many colors. So I'm so excited about this. This is going to be something that I can reach for my personal stitching that will be very meaningful to me. The brand, oh, it's very soft actually. And it is 100% cotton, and the brand seems to be called Mulina. And so I especially wanted to show you just to ask, has anyone seen this before? Does anyone know anything about it? I'm very excited. She just gave this to me yesterday, so I'm really keen to get stitching with it. I want to stitch projects for my girls with it because it's a little piece of Poland over here and it's stitching, so it's kind of a beautiful combination. And yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. Apparently they had a huge wall and they sell them in these bundles. So each one you can see it's wrapped up, and they were all called different things like happy, bright, different like collections, like autumnal kind of thing. Obviously all in Polish words, not English words, but yeah, so I just thought that was so sweet. So she was like, hey, the next time I go, I can get you more if you like them. And I think they're only 4 strands. No, that's not true at all. They're 6 strands. I don't know why I thought that. But yeah, so if anyone's heard of that or used it before, I'd love to hear more about that. Yeah, and I think that's all I have to share for today. I think this is going to be a shorter one for me. I always say that and I'm proven wrong, so we'll find out. But yes, I hope you like the patterns. Everything's going to be linked down below. Thank you for being here today. I really appreciate it. Have a great day, everyone. See you next time.